United States of America is currently undergoing a wokeness revolution where meritocracy has taken a backseat and promotions and appointments are based strictly on gender, creed, and color. The USA's Vice President Kamala Harris is the flagship project of this wokeness revolution. And to top it all, she is supposedly being groomed to become the next President of America. Soon to be 80, US President Joe Biden assigned her the all important border crisis issue, which has turned into a nightmare for the Kamala. Madam Vice President never visited USA's southern borders, never talked about it, and when she was cornered, she started finding the root causes for the mess. She went on a fact finding mission to Guatemala, where she was greeted with Kamala Go Back and Trump won banners. But troubles don't seem to be ending for the first woman, the first Indian American, the first African American, and the first Indian African American vice president. Because this time, the master slayer, Donald J. Trump himself, is coming to USA's southern borders to make sure that Kamala cries tears of blood. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Diksha, and in this video, I will tell you about Donald Trump's upcoming visit to USA's southern border and why the P in the VP must be taking anti-anxiety pills in anticipation of the humiliation. Let's begin. Former US President Donald Trump had created what was the most secure and airtight border in American history. His stay in Mexico protocols had ensured that even if illegal aliens do make the arduous northern journey, they were not able to enter the United States territory. The border wall was progressing well, which would have stopped illegal immigration from Northern Triangle countries for good. Then Joe Biden happened, and now United States southern border has been pulverized. Border patrol agents and infrastructure are surviving on the edge. And Joe Biden's coterie of lenient border control proponents is nowhere to be found. Vice President Kamala Harris, who was asked by Joe Biden to fix the border crisis, has been an unmitigated disaster at getting the job done. In the light of the Biden administration's utter failure to protect America's border and prevent illegal aliens from crawling up into the United States, Donald Trump has now decided to visit the southern border and witness firsthand the devastation caused by Biden and Harris' liberal policies. Trump will be accompanied by Texas Governor Greg Abbott during his visit to Texas border with Mexico. The tour alongside the Republican governor would take place later this month. In a statement, the former president said, "The Biden administration inherited from me the strongest, safest, and the most secure border in the US history. And in mere weeks, they have turned it into the single worst border crisis in US history. It is an unmitigated disaster zone." He added, "What Biden and Harris have done and are continuing to do on our border is a grave and willful dereliction of duty. My visit will hopefully shine a spotlight on these crimes against our nation and show the incredible people of ICE and Border Patrol that they have our unshakable support." The visit by Donald Trump will draw large-scale media attention. Moreover, unlike the kind of treatment that was meted out to Senators Ted Cruz and others, Biden's lackeys won't be able to get anywhere near Trump. The former porters will expose the conditions prevalent at the southern border and explain the reasons that led to such a catastrophe in the first place. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has announced that his state would be going ahead with the construction of the wall. The Biden administration's concerted efforts to censor the happenings at the border from being reported to Americans will further propel Donald Trump to expose what all has been unfolding at the American borders. For the first time in 5 months, Americans will be told the story of Biden and Harris's betrayal, ineptitude, and dereliction of duty. Joe Biden knows that his border policies are straight and outright disaster, which is why TFI had reported how Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told department employees in April that Biden administration may restart border wall construction to plug what were identified as gaps in the current barrier. The number of illegal immigrants crossing the US-Mexico border this fiscal year has already been the highest since 2006. And with 4 months still to go, we can only guess how the final numbers might look. The US Customs and Border Protection's enforcement data for the month of April revealed that the illegal immigration reached a 20-year high. Biden had also gone all out and offered citizenship to 11 million undocumented migrants. Earlier, President López Obrador of Mexico had blamed the border crisis on Joe Biden. He said expectations were created that with the government of President Biden, there would be a better treatment of migrants. And this has caused Central American migrants, and also from our country, wanting to come across the border, thinking that it is easier to do so. Most recently, Guatemala's president blamed the Biden administration for triggering the ongoing migrant surge into the US. This was a day before Kamala Harris arrived in the Central American country. In Guatemala, Kamala was greeted with some rude banners telling her, "Trump won and go home." Another banner read, "Kamala, mind your own business." In Texas, as reported by TFI, the people are taking matters into their own hands. With Donald Trump visiting the state's border later this month, he will help instill confidence among Texans and motivate them to stand up for themselves. Since the Biden administration has visibly abdicated all responsibilities and is rather focused on a comprehensive woke agenda to achieve a collective decarcination of the conscience of America, Donald Trump must name and shame Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for making a mess out of the country's southern border.